Hey everybody, today is April 4th. I was gonna have this said I was gonna have this done last week, and some things came up. I had to do quite a bit of work on this, go back and find articles and such. So I'm gonna try to get through this really quick. Um, so the coronavirus um, pandemic, uh, Cuomo came out multiple times and said how New York State was running out of ventilators. New York State was going to run out of ventilators and wanted ventilators from the feds. Um, didn't get them from the feds, and then started bashing the feds, and it's turned into this whole big ordeal. So Cuomo's whining and crying about that. Okay, um, so this video I want to show you kind of some of the, just some up to this point, and I'm sure there's things that I've missed of some failures by Cuomo to this whole thing. Okay, so Cuomo is carrying on about how we're going to run out of ventilators. Okay, so Remington Arms, all right, offered up manufacturing space for medical supplies. Okay, um, they had some huge amount of space, and of course it's not in this article, but if you could, think their factory, yeah, here it is right here. Approximately 1 million square feet of unused and available manufacturing space at their Ilion plant. Okay, so Remington Arms offered up all 1 million square feet in manufacturing space for hospital supplies, and got no response from Cuomo. Okay, I kind of, my personal opinion, I think it's because it's a gun manufacturer. Cuomo's very anti-gun, and you can't have them looking like good guys. Okay, so no response at all from them. Okay, so then let's see, where do we want to go next? Where do we want to go next? So Cuomo goes on about how he's gonna um, go to other hospitals and he's gonna confiscate their unused ventilators, and then they're gonna basically redistribute them to places that need them, which I think is a really bad idea. Because then you take them from a hospital and then that hospital needs them, then they don't have them. All right. So somewhere along the way, right, we'll come across this. Brett Hume, it's on Twitter. Cuomo says ventilators New York has not been distributed because the hospitals don't need them yet. He says he expects they will be needed when the New York outbreak reaches its apex. Okay.
That is incorrect and grossly uninformed. The the point is, we have ventilators in a stockpile, and we didn't send them to the hospitals yet.
So, right there, we have ventilators in a stockpile.
Of course we didn't. That's the whole point. The hospitals don't need them yet. The hospitals aren't at their apex. The hospitals have enough ventilators today, but the numbers are going up.
So, we need ventilators. We need ventilators. You know, oh, the feds are evil. They won't send us ventilators. And then, oh, we have ventilators in a stockpile.
We're planning for an apex, a high point in about 21 days, That's when we need the 30,000 ventilators, not today. Right now, we're putting them in a stockpile. So the point is, well, they're in a stockpile, you must not need them. It's just ignorance. Of course, you don't need them today. You need them when you hit the the apex, which is 30,000. We're not there yet. We're there.
And you don't know what you're going to need. So anyway, um, so Trump came out. There's a couple articles here. So Trump came out and made this statement about 2015. All right, let me see what this article says. So 2015, there was a task force that was put together, and they discovered that basically, if there's a large scale incident such as a pandemic where they needed all these ventilators, okay, that they weren't going to have enough. Okay, so they knew in 2015 that they weren't going to have enough. Okay, so let's see. And of course, this is Cuomo. This is a 5-year-old advisory task force reports, which never recommended the state procure ventilators. No, but it pointed out that they were going to be short ventilators. Okay, so they knew 5 years ago that they were going to be short ventilators if a big incident happened, and they did nothing about it. So this is another article from the Post, from the New York Post. Yeah, in 2015, the state could have purchased the additional 16,000 needed ventilators for 36,000 apiece, for a total of 576 million. It's a lot of money, but in hindsight, spending 0.5% on the budget to prepare for a pandemic was the right thing to do. So let's see. Learning Empire State stockpile of medical equipment. It's 16,000 fewer ventilators than the 18,000 that New Yorkers would need in a severe pandemic. State public health leaders came to a fork in the road. They could have chosen to buy more ventilators to back up the supplies in hospitals. Maintain instead, the health commissioner Howard Zucker assembled a task force for rationing the ventilators they already had. All right. So there's another article talking about the same. And here's Cuomo. So Trump was going to send 400 ventilators, and Cuomo goes 400. What are we going to do with 400? You picked the 26,000 people who are going to die. So it talks about it again. This is an op-ed that former Lieutenant Governor Betsy McCaughey, who said 2015 Cuomo and other state officials learned that in a potential pandemic, New York would need 18,000 ventilators, but only had 2,000 on hand. Okay, it's just insane. So this is the article that talks about Cuomo is going to basically round up. It's an executive order, and it's going to force hospitals to turn over spare ventilators and other medical equipment. They be collected by the state and then redirected to facilities that need them. Right. So there's no language about how they come to the assumption that all this, you're not going to need these supplies, so we're taking them. All right. So National Guard will deploy to collect the equipment. possible hospitals in New York not currently stressed by the virus have several hundred ventilators that more stretched sites could use. Yeah, I think that's a little crazy. So then you've got here's an article talks about Tesla donating ventilators to New York. Tesla chief executive said the first batch of the machines were delivered later on Friday. Ventilators were purchased from U.S. government-approved manufacturers in China. So let's see. Ventilators are needed. So purchased 1,255 ventilators from 3 manufacturers: ResMed, Philips, and Medtronic. Says company would be giving all its ventilators away. We would buy them or build them. So you've got Tesla donating ventilators. Okay. So then you've got Cuomo comes on and says, "Oh, China's sending 1,000 ventilators." Okay. Facilitating the shipment of 1,000 ventilators to a state. Continues to shop for more life-saving devices ahead of the growing number of coronavirus patients who are expected to need them. So, I just can't believe, okay, you're going to turn down an offer from Remington, it's an American company, and you're going to get all these ventilators from China, right? Now, remember, China sent us COVID-19 testing kits, okay, that were fake. But we're going to have them send us ventilators, right? Makes all the sense in the world, right? Yeah. So, a couple other things I want to point out too. So, 2 more. Let's see. Right here. New York has thrown away 20,000 hospital beds. Okay. So, lost a staggering 20,000 hospital beds over the last 2 decades to budget cuts and insurance overhauls, complicating local and state efforts to battle coronavirus. Right. Empire State had 73,931 licensed hospital beds in 2000. Right. Before years of cuts and closures shrank the number to just 53,000. Now, the officials believe they will need anywhere from 55,000 to 110,000 hospital beds to treat the expected wave of coronavirus victims. Right. New York has closed too many beds. They went too far, said Judy Wessler, former head of the New York Commission on Public Health System, about the 28% drop in beds. Right. So, these are, so people could argue, well, last 2 decades, well, Cuomo hasn't been in office that long. No, but you could see a problem, okay, and then you plan for the problem, okay, or the potential, all right? Plan for that, okay? It's like the ventilators in 2000. They knew in 2015 that they didn't have the ventilators, okay? They could have planned for that, okay? Budget for that. But instead, did nothing. Absolutely nothing, okay? So, another thing I want to point out, and I thought I had the article, and I always spell it wrong. So, hydroxychloroquine, which people, have been on both sides on over. Okay, so Cuomo put out this executive order. Okay, so let me see if this is the one. Let's see. We're just gonna search for it. There we go, right here. So, no pharmacist shall dispense hydroxychloroquine or chloroquine except when written as prescribed for an FDA-approved indication or as part of a state-approved clinical trial related to COVID-19 for a patient who is tested positive for COVID-19, with such test result documented as part of the prescription. No other experimental or prophylactic use shall be permitted. Any permitted prescription is limited to one 14-day prescription with no refills. Okay, so a doctor, right, is set because it has to be part of a state-approved clinical trial related to COVID-19. So if you have COVID-19, you test positive for it, you want your doctor to prescribe you hydroxychloroquine. Okay, you are SOL. Okay, so you can go right to the CDC website. Okay, and let's see if we can find it. You know what I'm going to do? Because I have such a hard time spelling it. We're going to copy and paste it. Let's see if we can find it here. No. Well, they might have removed it. So you could go on CDC website, okay, and the CDC so let's see if this will be from the NIH, but so the CDC you could go on there before on their website. Right? I don't remember what the date was on it, but the CDC talked about how you could use hydroxychloroquine and how there were studies done in China where using hydroxychloroquine worked. Excuse me. But they must have taken it off their website. Which I think is political. You had all these doctors come out and say that that they were prescribing it and having good success with it, and now you've got people that, oh no, it doesn't work, blah 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 blah. Let's see. Been used experimentally in coronavirus patients. CDC previously stated. Yeah, the Reuters news agency reported CDC website previously stated on its information for clinicians and on therapeutic options for patients with COVID-19. Although optimal dosing and duration of hydroxychloroquine for treatment are unknown, some U.S. clinicians have reported anecdotally on how to use it. Let's see. Right, you just see that. So So yeah, we're gonna have that's not gonna work because they obviously they removed it from their website. Um, but they did, and I'm sure they removed it because of political pressure. So so that's it for now. I've gone way longer than I wanted to. It's just some, some things that's highlighting how Cuomo has, you know, bumbled the coronavirus response. But you've got people that, oh, he's doing such a great job, and the bias polls come out. 87% of people think he's doing a great job, and blah 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 blah. You know, yeah. Well, as you can see from what I've shown you, he's not. So, so that's all for now. Stay tuned for more. I'm working on some other stuff. Got a lot of news to share. I get a little overwhelmed with it all. But I will. I'll keep sharing as much as I can, and so stay tuned. Also, go on my Facebook page and make sure you like the page and follow the page for for more updates. Um, Subscribe. Click the little bell so you get notifications on when I post videos. And yeah, stay tuned. Um, do your own research. I mean, I know I make videos of these articles and stuff, but go to the articles, read them for yourself, look them up for yourself. Think and research things for yourself. Don't be like the other people that they go to CNN and oh, you know I gotta let CNN tell me what I need to think and what I need to believe. And, it's nuts. Just do your own homework. You know, and all these links, all these articles, go to these websites, look these up. This go to Google, your whatever your favorite search engine is. Just type some stuff in and see what comes up. You know, um, stay informed. So have a good day. Take care and stay safe.